How was it having Ira back into the rotation?
You know, it was good for a lot of reasons. One of which is it's been the first time we've had our entire cast able to play at 100%. You know, we missed Chase for a game, missed Ira for a game, played really with Chase at about 50% one other game. And, you know, our depth inside is something that we're working to develop. But I think the three biggest players on our team, Ryan Luther, you know, Ira and Chase, having all those guys playing well and healthy, it gives us a better opportunity to rebound and do some things that we're going to need to do here moving forward. And, you know, I know Ira had some fouls, maybe a couple of calls could have gone either way, but he did a good job.
Good to see Dylan get out of that little slump he was in.
Yeah, and, you know, part of it is he has to take good three-point shots. If he does, eventually his percentage will change and it'll win out. He does it every day in practice. But, man, I tell you, there aren't too many players that play harder than Dylan. If you look at his total rebounds in the two games that we've played, you would think he's a front court player. You know, he's averaging in and around 9 rebounds a game. And his defense, he reminds me of, you know, the track that a guy like Kyle Fogg was on throughout his career. And by the time Kyle got to the end, you know, he was one of our conference's best perimeter defenders. And I think Dylan has that makeup. And he's smart, he's hard playing. And it was nice to see him make a couple shots.
You kind of foreshadowed that the other day when you said he's going to hit him, and then when he does, you're going to get a boost out of it. I mean, is that kind of what you thought? No, and not only with him, but with, you know, Ryan and Chase kind of helping you a lot offensively too, that you have that balance.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan, you know, being able to take and make open threes is something that's going to help our team. You know, Ryan Luther's one of our team's best shooters, and it's just he takes very good shots. Sometimes he's almost unselfish to a fault. But tonight he played a very good game. I mean, guy goes 7 for 9 from the floor and is able to hit 3 for 5 from the foul line or from the three-point line, you know, around the basket. Did a good job. I think both him and Chase had a turnover tonight, just being very unselfish in the low post. When, you know, a lot of times big guys don't pass. Sometimes those two guys are almost unselfish to a fault. We want them to, you know, turn and shoot the ball, get the ball inside. I think good things happen when we can get an inside shot by them. I will also tell you, Brandon Williams, you know, through the first 2 games of his college career, he's at the very beginning stages, and bouncing him back and forth between 2 positions is not easy, especially when one of those positions is the point guard. But 13 assists and no turnovers in 2 games. You know, game 1 was a very frenetic, denying man-to-man team that really thrived on forcing turnovers. And tonight was, you know, a college matchup zone that Cal Poly's been playing and is good at it. They know what they're doing. And for him to have 13 assists and no turnovers, I think that's a really good sign for him and also our team. And he'll settle in. And some of his drives against bigger people haven't gone down. But as he learns what that feels like, I think that those drives will start going his way.
You talked about turnovers and rebounding the other night, and those things both came around in a big way today. Did that surprise you that much difference right away? Or?
Well, the one thing we worry about with our team, because we have so many new faces, is just turning the ball over in November. But the second half against Houston Baptist, we played that half with 2 turnovers. And tonight, you know, we played the entire game with 7. That's the thing that I'm the most pleased about. And you can play 60 minutes of college basketball with only 9 total turnovers. That's again, a good sign of things to come. And we have a lot of players doing a good job in that area. I think Brandon Williams leads us with 13 assists and no turnovers in 2 games. That's excellent. Our rebounding, obviously we learned our lesson against Houston Baptist in our first game. We worked hard at it. I think we got the message across very clearly. Ira being back helped. But our guards have to do a real good job of blocking out and rebounding our wings. We did not do a good job in that first game. And tonight we did a better job. I don't know if that's Cal Poly's strength, but I can only judge us by by what we do, but we were much more formidable, took it serious, and had a number of guys really working hard in that area.
This is a long road. Do you see baby steps or gradual steps as you guys move along?
You know, we just have to do the best that we can. You know, I think we have some guys who don't start the game this year that really contribute. There isn't a big difference between the starters and I would say 3 players, maybe 4 players, certainly 3 off the bench. And those guys off the bench, you know, they give us a lift. They give us depth. You know, Emmanuel Acott does a lot of different things. It was great to see him be aggressive, scoring against the zone. But, you know, he can pass the ball. He sees the court really well. Defensively, he could do a lot of different things. You know, Ira is physical, our most explosive big guy that can get second shots. And I think as Ira keeps playing more and more games, he's only going to get better. And Dylan, which we've talked a lot about. I mean, the fact that none of those 3 are starting, you know, getting that punch from those 8. And then, you know, Alex's shot hasn't dropped right now, but he's another guy that does it every day, and it's just a matter of time. I looked at Devonair, and he, you know, he's coming around as well. So maybe our depth, we don't have a ton of size, but I think we have some good players that don't start the game. And with that, then you can create maybe that, cultivate the hard-playing team, you know, a team that hustles, you know, a team that can pick up full court, and a team that on a given night can get some scoring punch from guys that don't start the game. I think all coaches love that, and I think we have the capability of having that here on this year's team.
How much do you get the sense already that this is a group of guys that likes playing together, enjoys playing together?
We have a great group of guys. They've worked hard from day one. I think all of them are out to prove that our team is better than maybe the outside world thinks. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But collectively, they have worked. And there's some guys that have had 4 or 5 straight months of a lot of hard work in the weight room, shooting the ball, not just in our team practice, but in things they've done individually. So, in our freshman class from a year ago, you know, Brandon Randolph, Emmanuel Acott, Alex Barcelo, and Ira Lee, you know, they gained a lot of experience, and I think they're, again, hungry and eager to prove that they're a better player than they were a year ago. And each of them are. And I know with Brandon Randolph, you really see that because of his scoring, but I think the other guys are the same as well. They've gotten better.
I'm curious, did Richard Jefferson have a chance to talk to you guys?
No, I talked to him before the telecast, and you know, he's an amazing story. Just to watch how articulate he is, the NBA career he's had, and who he is right now, and like announcing is like seamless for him. You know, it's like he's been doing it for 10 years, and it's good to have an Arizona guy behind the microphone.
You guys let him in his gym, or did he let you in his gym?
I can't answer that because of the NCAA rules.